But they did a cold open for once instead of just, here we are in the arena and here's somebody coming down the aisle because we're afraid you're going to switch out. They had a package that told the story, MJF's promo, MJF's actions with Garcia and Ospreay, with his own words as the voiceover, edited, obviously, from the longer full length of the interview that he did. But he articulated this thing perfectly, and the video backed it up, and it gave it even more impact. And you see, God, for once, it's like they meant to fucking do this. And it may make more sense as an angle, as a wrestling angle, to try to draw money and get some interest than anything they've, if not ever done in a long time. And then the announcers were Sockface, Tony Schiavone, and Nigel McGuinness, because the story is that Jericho had the EVPs ban Taz because he was rude to whatever the fucking thing was. I hope Taz is okay and just took a fucking week off rather than have to go up there and put up with this shit any further. But why are they making Nigel be just a complete heel to the point where he's not credible at all because he's just taken the contrary viewpoint no matter what the fuck is said? And the sun will come up tomorrow. Well, not if I have anything to do with it.
Not if I get off this yacht yelling here. See, I like the happy Robin Leach Nigel more than the I'm a heel, so I have to be a heel all the time Nigel.
Yeah, I don't know why he's doing this, because it's not like Taz does it. He wasn't replaced anyway. But here's where I'm going to be nice, because out came the high-priced acquisition, Will Ospreay, for an in-ring promo after what happened last week, after the things MJF said, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, can he hold his end up in a verbal conflict with MJF? And to be honest, I like what he did, because he didn't come out there and try to be cute and blah, blah, blah. He sat on the top turnbuckle and he talked to him fairly normally, not over the top. But he had a couple good lines. There was
no direction to it.
Well, that's the thing, is it meandered, but I liked his tone. But at first he said, MJF, you want to blame the people and this and that. Well, you've got ADD. I got ADHD, and it doesn't give me an excuse to be a little prick. And by the way, what are all these fucking illnesses? There's a great line, but what are all these fucking illnesses? I don't fucking know what all these fucking illnesses are anymore. But the thing is, it was like he was workshopping it. I agree that he went to a couple places twice, and he didn't really build his, like, MJF doesn't like me because he gave 3 reasons, and the last one was probably the flattest one of the bunch. But he's trying. And it's just the accent. I know it's some people find it endearing, but is it hard for an American ear to get what he's cooking?
I was having that same thought, because I liked his intensity. A few times he had a really good line, and then he kept going, or he didn't tie it together well. It was all over the place while the crowd sat there and listened, and sometimes popped. There's something there, but I think he needs to be produced.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's going to do it there. Who's going to teach him how to do a promo there? And he's never had to do promos like he has to do now on American TV.
If I was him, I'd ask the guy he's working with, MJF, I'll teach you an extra flip if you'll fucking work with me on my timing.
I think it was good, but he needs to learn, actually how to go out there and start here and end up here and make it work in the middle. I don't think he has that yet.
But I must say, being a nice and fair individual, there's more there than I had been afeared of if he, if he can just try to start being more legitimate and not cute like the kids try to be cute over there these days. And they did the deal, and I don't understand this. He cut the promo on MJF, obviously, and then calls him out, and the music plays, and there's no MJF. But at the same time, Nigel told old Sockface when, he's, I guess he's not coming out. Well, stop playing this game. MJF's not here tonight. So just make the goddamn lead announcer look like a fucking complete, which he is, but a complete liar and a shill and a worker. Why is anybody believing it at this point? They always come on out here, play music, and a guy doesn't come. And the announcers would know, one would think the guy's been in the building. But having said that, he appears on the screen. And I don't know, if this was still the era of the after mags, Brian, would the headline be, is MJF the De Niro of wrestling? I can see Bill doing that, can't you?
Yeah, De Niro, Jerry Lewis.
Hey, come on.
Well, because it's Bill. It's Bill.
Well, I didn't say he had to imitate him. I'm just talking about writing the headline. No, he has so much inflection. He gets so much across in a short period of time. And, if he couldn't be there in person, then this is probably the best thing that he could have done, is just to follow up last week on the screen so we get to hear from him. And now here's the goddamn deal I don't understand, is that he challenges Will for an international title match next week on television, and Ospreay accepts. So have they false booked this to do an angle that will lead to, one would assume, Wembley Stadium or some venue or show that it would be worth it to give that away? Or are they just going to put it on fucking television? That doesn't make any sense. So the promo, let's talk about that for a second. But the promo, you've registered Will's, or your opinion on Will's effort, but I think MJF, if he wasn't going to be there live, and they can't be at each other's throats every week, again, see Punk and McIntyre, they can't do it every fucking week. MJF's was about as good as it could be.
Yeah, and right now it's as noisy as it could be. The timing's perfect. I'll talk through it.
I hear your pitch. Sounds like a bunch of Sherpas bringing you up the mountain.
No, the MJF promo was good. Obviously, he wasn't there, and I guess there's some limitations with when they could film him and what they did, but personally, it was a little too stagey, the setup in the background. I would have liked to seen him like that, just like in a lounge or something to look real. Not like...
Oh, you're saying he's got a drinking problem. He's always hanging out at the bar or the lounge or something like that.
I'm saying they had the nice red lighting in the background like every other lit segment in the backstage area on AEW. It should have looked a little different. He wasn't there.
Most of the talent, I will agree, in AEW, most of the talent is lit.
All right, I tried, ladies and gentlemen. Even with Gardeners behind me, I tried. But, of course, Jim Cornette just doesn't want this to be a good show today. Why did it change its tone like that? Hold on. Oh,
don't make me change my tone. Pismo.